Cheers, queers.
Woo, that's the way to get it started right there.
It is From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I am here with Mr. Lars, or Lance for short.
Oh, did you hear that guy calling that?
That's my buddy. he goes, damn it, I messed his name up. People call him Jeff all the time, and his name's Joe, so I know he gets it.
John.
We have Clint Moses. We have photography over there on the board. Oh, Charlotte goes.
Monday, June 27th.
It's Monday, yeah, whatever. I heard Charlotte.
Paxton has got all the coffee energy today.
Charlotte came in the other night and she goes, Fro's voice on that microphone. Sultry.
My sister, Charlotte?
Your sister. Thank you to all of our patrons, and thank you for following us on YouTube and all that stuff. We have a new YouTube channel, so I'm going to still keep posting stuff to the old YouTube channel, but now just search From Behind the Barcast, and there is a hyphen between bar and cast.
Hyphen between bar and cast. Got you. I keep posting the link to it.
Is that why that one only had 6 followers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they lost a lot.
Make love to that thing. You want to be like right up on there.
Is that better? Up a little bit closer.
Pull out what you want.
So we got Lars here. We got Lars here today with us because he works with us from time to time, and you came from Ohio, right?
Yeah, I don't like doing
Just
it.
like
I was not born there, though. I don't
okay.
claim it.
Don't claim. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we had some Ohio people in yesterday. I was like, I think El Chapo dug a tunnel between Ohio and here.
Yeah, he had to have.
There's so many Ohio transplants.
They haven't found it yet.
So this first half of the podcast is going to be a little localish because local based because of a lot of the stuff that's going on around here. Some effery.
Some effery.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us this week.
It's my 1-year anniversary today.
Really?
Today's the 1 year.
With who?
June 28th last year with this.
Wow.
I didn't think you could last year with a woman.
I made it a whole year and we didn't kill each other.
Because it's sort of like what's the Spinal Tap? Like we lose our drummers blow up all the time. Because Clint and Vinny made up. Because like if you're in a relationship, it's hard to work with the person that you're in a relationship as well. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Sometimes it's hard to be in a relationship with the person you're in a relationship with.
Period, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest here, yeah.
So shout out to Vinny. Have you ever gotten this? I had this person come up. I've never seen them in my life. Hadn't seen them that night. This happened on Sunday. They go, "Hey, I'll take another round."
Like that, you know immediately what the hell they want.
I was like, "Will you?"
Yeah. Of what?
Of what?
Yeah. Anything in particular?
Dealer's choice.
Yeah. You better get a bunch of Jack and Cokes, buddy.
Interesting side note: if they got married, neither one would have to change their last name.
That's true.
This is true.
It's been brought up before. We could just hyphenate King.
That's a definite
Let's
positive.
go first.
Okay.
I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast, but so the only there's only King families on Tybee were mine and Vinny's, him and all his relatives. A piece of mail from my mother, who's been passed away for almost 5 years now, somehow got to his mom's house. They went to my old address. I guess they kicked it back to the University of Georgia, and after about 3 tries, they're like, you know what we're going to do? Send it to another King on Tybee, and they sent it to Angel's house.
Oh, there's another King? Yeah. So,
Be related. It's Georgia.
It's like they owe you $31 for something that my mom's account was charged for in 2017 for alumni donations. I'm like, is this worth pursuing to get this $30 from the University of Georgia?
I would.
Yeah. All right.
You take that 31, donate to someone who owes student loans. That might pay their interest for 1 hour.
I use it to buy a ticket.
That would be a 1/16 tank of gas for the Honda.
Yeah. I had the weirdest thought about you two getting married, and I think your kid would look like King Diamond. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Speaking of King Diamond, that's right. I just started.
I got you.
I just started following this girl named Gina Gleason. She's the guitar player for a band called Baroness, and she has a tribute band called Queen Diamond.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. I like it.
Nice. So some local effery going on.
Here's the local effery. Well, number one, okay. The thing that I want to address first. There's a company down here called Southern Bell Rentals, and they do short-term vacation rentals. They put this Facebook post up the other day. And on the post it said, vacation rentals are only responsible for 30% of the crime that happens on Tybee. The other whatever, as if this math was correct.
Yeah, how do you assume this math? Because they're just assuming calls to the rental places, not the people that are renting causing crimes elsewhere that aren't attributed to the location because they weren't there when it happened. Like, they only commit crimes at the house.
Also, these people are here for 2 to 5 days at the time.
Yeah, week most.
Versus the people who live here year round.
Have a higher opportunity to commit small
Weird.
crimes.
Yeah,
So there's
if the
more
locals
crime.
were only here for a week, let's extrapolate that. We'd never get arrested.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got a better chance of getting in trouble. We're here all the time.
That's not entirely accurate.
Hey, whose side are you
Shut
on
up.
So here's the thing. I live in a neighborhood where Southern Bell has 2 or 3 units over here on the corner. So shout out to 2 of our patrons, David and Jasmine, who live across the corner from me. Every week they come out and they're like, see the fire truck back there today? Just see the police car back there today? See the ambulance back there today? Because Southern Bell in particular.
Is like they're like the lower cost one?
I guess, man, because it is
I mean,
crime-ridden.
we saw
and this,
the one across the street that one night with the children fighting pretty much.
yeah, but see, that's individual owned,
Airbnb,
and they
okay.
had themselves a little. I don't know if we did the update, but I saw the guy loading all the stuff out the next day by himself. Like, the girl was inside, probably refusing. So we had a domestic happen across the street last week. While we were recording, we went downstairs and like, she's on the phone crying. Kelly hates me.
He won't give him my keys.
He won't give me my book.
He's
or
like,
something.
you have your keys.
The next day, he's in a wife beater unloading every bit of their stuff. She does not walk out the door until the car is packed and cranked and ready to go.
Oh, that's an uncomfortable ride home.
Oh yeah.
And I don't care if you
Super
live.
quiet.
I don't care if you lived 20 minutes away. That's the longest.
That's-
time.
oh, God,
that's
yeah.
still an 8-hour ride.
And if there's a wreck, you're just sitting there stuck.
I hope they didn't have to go down 16 because there's never a time you go down 16 where you're not
yeah.
stopped for
Oh my
like an
God!
hour.
I mean, there was
Right?
a wreck on Tybee Road one day. You know, everybody's in their car and we're communicating on Facebook, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I worked out, was going home, and I was like, I'm starving. Does anybody have food? And like Matt Sullivan, shout out to Matt Sullivan, was like 5 cars behind me, and it's like, actually, dude, I just picked up a pork butt, so if you want to walk back here, I'll give you some pork butt. But we had no utensils to eat said pork butt, so I just went back.
That's how you're supposed to eat it, with your hands.
Yeah, so I just went back there and took a handful of pork butt back to my car and just eating it out of my hands in the car. I'm like, you saved my life, Matt.
Oh, my
that was so,
God.
you know, after you get to working out, you got to feed. And like, I'd had a shake. That was it. I'm starving.
Must feed. Wait, did it have sauce on it or was it just?
It didn't. It was fresh, so it was still very moist.
So
I keep barbecue sauce in the car. What kind of psycho doesn't do that?
yeah, so if you're not
Arby's
familiar
sauce.
with
Love
the
bugs.
STVR thing down here, so on Tybee, so here's the issue. I reposted a Facebook thing about the city council having a meeting about it.
You and like 20 other people because everybody's pissed.
Right, I posted and ghosted, but I didn't even. It was TLDR. I really didn't read it. I was just like, well, they're going to talk about whatever. I don't know what they're trying to get pushed through or what, but I just wanted the people to be aware that the meeting was happening. And then I accidentally looked back at some of the comments, and I was like, bros and gals, I'm literally just telling you. that-
There's a meeting happening.
But here's the thing. Here's the crux of it to me, just in my personal opinion. So if you start being overran with the short-term vacation rentals, we don't have golf courses down here. We don't have water parks. We don't have putt-putt. We don't have the things that the Hilton Heads of the world have, where your tourism base is based off of activities that aren't going to the beach and drinking. On Tybee, the reason Tybee is because the people that live down here work down here, and they're crazy as fuck. Market.
Hoof.
They're crazy.
I love it.
People enjoy watching other people act an ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of being on Tybee.
Well, yeah, there's beach and drinking. That's what we got.
Well, Tybee's a drinking town with a surfing problem. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best way to describe it.
There's a bar church.
Yeah.
There's a
think
church.
there's
There's
two.
that bar church.
There's 2.
So people come in and they're like,
So you can smoke during church. Most of the reason you can drink and smoke.
no, they won't let you drink, but you can smoke.
No, you can drink now
amazing.
because now you can drink before.
Oh, the brunch bill pass.
Brunch bill
Yeah,
pass. So I think
yeah.
they have real communion. you get a glass of the blood of Christ.
They're like,
know-
Jameson of Christ.
Jesus of Christ. Fireball of Christ.
Fireball of Christ. Oh, that's my favorite.
Pretzel of Christ.
The wheat
Slowpoke
brownie
of Christ.
The wheat brownie of Christ.
Yes. Yes. Mushroom chocolate of Christ.
Yes.
So people come down, and here's the parking situation. So it's like people go, like just in my neighborhood, I found people parking in front of my house that are renting a place down here, and I'm like, The front of my house is not, and you can tell that it is someone's house.
Yes, there's flags and stuff outside.
I had to
and
start-
a vegetable garden.
I had to start going Karen and making like ropes out there.
I remember your noodle rope.
Yeah, I made noodle ropes to put out
my
there.
God.
Yeah.
I was like, should I be parking here? You're like, it's not for you. Don't worry. We'll get into this later.
Yeah, change all parking. So speaking of parking, I can't dox the person who came up with this idea, but I think it's a brilliant idea. Call out to anyone who lives on Tybee, or if you don't live on Tybee, and if you have a Tybee sticker, which permits you to park anywhere at any time. Mm-hmm. On 4th of July, you're not going to be wanting to drive anyways, right?
Driving 4th of July sucks here.
Don't
so
do it.
It's fun to ride bikes. You just ride past everybody in
Why
their
don't you
car.
just ride bikes, right? So the July 3rd, the night before, I want you to take your stickered Tybee car and put it in any of the public parking spots. We'll start at the back river, fill up the back river's parking spots. Then we'll start heading down 80.
Yeah, down 80. Just
Shit.
In fact, if you want to be extra nice, park as close as you can to the ramps, to the beach ramp, the access ramps. So that way
Every time.
even though there's open spots, they got
Every time. Yeah.
Call to action.
And,
And then- and
what if
then
they
move
have a handicap sticker and a Tybee sticker?
Oh, God. Get up in there.
If you have a handicap sticker,
You're probably driving a PT Cruiser.
Yes.
if you have a handicap sticker, please.
I'm sorry, bro.
Fro was in a horrible car accident, a motorcycle accident, so he.
No, but he's got you have an element that doesn't make terrible noises now, right? Then you say you
No,
got
it is whisper quiet. Ninja element.
So if you're not watching and you can just hear us, Paxton has double the energy I normally have today,
Yeah.
and it is great.
Well, I took a nap. I woke up at 3 and I was like, oh boy, I only got a few hours. So I didn't drink coffee when I woke up the first time at 11. So I made a big old Chemex and I feel great.
Yeah, I could tell you. He was like, come on, let's go, go, go. I'm like, okay, we're moving.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Well, last week, you guys didn't leave here until like 1 o'clock, and poor Fro is over
It's
here
really
sober.
And I'm hammered.
Someone told me, they go, hey, the second half of last week's podcast, pretty drunk, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
I was like, yeah, how'd you know?
After this, after this one cocktail, I'm going to beer, so I won't be that drunk.
So, what is your, didn't you rent?
We're drinking Yingling today.
Oh, yeah,
And I'm having a Finlandia and emergency
and
for the first start, just to kind of.
When you first got here, you were in STVR, wasn't it like a named something cute?
No, actually, that was the house I bought. It was called Seabiscuit Cottage.
Okay.
When I bought it, yeah, Seabiscuit Cottage, and it was horrible. I mean, it was a gorgeous house, but it had, I think there were 63 seahorses, wooden ones, just plastered it all over it.
Oh my God!
So the first month I was there, it took me a month to remove all the seahorses off of every vertical surface of the house, the fence, the
I've never even
trees.
seen a seahorse in the water here either.
But I don't know if you guys know, my house is literally the smallest house on the island. Literally, it's 400 square feet,
Oh
the
my
whole
God.
house. So you know how everyone names their homes? I almost called it Just a Tip because it's so small. But my daughter came down and she was like, "No, Dad." She's like, "Please don't call it Just the Tip."
I'll name the Wi-Fi that then.
Yeah, it is a trend because like every house you go to, if it's called like Sea Change or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Happy Shores.
The Dune
Yeah.
Cottage.
there is something on every vertical surface. There should be a demo squad that
I
just
saved all the
tests it.
seahorses. If anybody wants some,
They got
for free.
63 of them.
For free. So we named it New Moon Surf Camp just because it wasn't offensive and it would confuse the shit out of
It was
people.
like the last house Vinny lived in before the one he's in now, the apartment he's in now. He lived in it was somebody else's house. He was just kind of watching it for them while they were out of town. And they had more chickens and roosters than I've ever seen. in a house.
Live,
Real
or
ones or-
No, like
knickknacks?
Knickknacks. But like
Accoutrement.
everything you could, like they had a toothpick dispenser chicken. Okay? I stole that.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Guaranteed.
like 3 cents.
Roosters.
3 cents.
Roosters.
Anything you could put.
Did you have to hit the chicken in the head to
Yeah,
dispense
yeah.
My grandmother
Yeah,
had
pick
one
it
of
out.
those. Those
Pick
are
it out.
amazing.
It picked it out of there.
That's some Cracker Barrel shit.
I mean,
if I've ever
yeah,
heard.
they went to Cracker Barrel and bought all this stuff. It was like 16 cookie jars, like a pot, anything you could possibly imagine. Flower holders, candle holders.
A lot of that occurs when you let family members know that you like chickens. So every holiday, birthday, it doesn't matter. You're going to get something chicken oriented.
I mean, I
sort-
get that with Marvel and Star
Yeah.
Wars stuff.
It's sort of like when you make a Tito's and vodka joke.
And you get all two vodka of your whole life. God. Whew. I haven't been to that bar in over a month, and every time I'm going to get there in a couple weeks, I'm like, ugh.
Get ready.
I might come out Monday and make you go hang out.
Oh wow! Well, you know what though? I'm gonna park my car somewhere on Monday. Or is next Monday? Not tomorrow.
It's a week from today.
A week. Yeah. Today is Monday.
Today is Monday, as it always is.
Hey, it's been a long weekend. I tell you. Well, Saturday was tear-inducing. The only thing was I was sweating so much that when I went to the walk-in to cry, no liquid would come out of my eyes.
Just little ice cubes.
Not even that, no. They evaporated before they even hit my cheek. The thing was that it was like 9 people deep the entire night. But then, right around 1:30, everyone turned cool. You know what I mean? Like, everyone sucked. And then at 1:30, everyone was like, "You're pretty cool, man. Here's an extra $8, man." Like, normally
you're like, oh, okay.
Normally 1:30, everyone's like, and they're giving you $2 for your $2 beer. No, it all turned around for me.
Right.
And then I'll get into yesterday whenever it comes to my Karen.
Was that when we talked? Because you texted me. It was at 1:30 a.m. I think it was either Thursday or Saturday. Because you were after work, and it was like, I was like, "Look, I'm just going to call you," and you're like, "Fine, get it over with."
Oh, yeah.
Like we're an old married couple having sex.
Just lay back and enjoy the call.
He's like, "Fine, come on, let's get this."
He gave me this ultimatum. He goes, "Look, I'm about to play Fortnite or something. I'm in something real deep. I need to talk to you." He was like, "You want me to call you now or in 30 minutes?" I said, "Just get it over with."
Get it over with. And I was like, "Damn, man."
He literally goes.
And we talked for 34 minutes. That was, it was
34 minutes? That's about a tenth of what we normally do.
I know. The previous phone call was a lot longer.
2 hours and 58 minutes. I'm glad that the phone, because after you guys left from last week's podcast, there was this little beep happening in one of the mic signals. And I'm up here wasted. And I'm trying. So if you don't,
he was going to have to call me for advice.
If you don't know anything about audio, it was one very specific frequency, and I was doing a frequency sweep to try and find it so that it wouldn't cut out all the other stuff. And I would think I would find it. I'd take the headphones off, take a break, put it back on, hit play, and I hear, God damn it! I look. It is 4:45. I was like, ring, ring. Clint, what's up? Hey, man, what you doing?
It was 3:30. It was 3:30. It was 3:30. Because I slept late as shit last Monday, so I was like, I'll be up. But I went and got food from the Crowbar, to try to help with things, as it did.
By the time you guys left, I was like, I could get some egg rolls because y'all were talking about. And then I was like, I can't even drive my bike to the corner right now.
That's what 4th of July ends up being like. You can't drive your bike. In fact, I know 2 people have gotten BUIs on 4th of July.
Really?
Yeah, one of them was I'm not going to dox this girl that's friends with me and my sister, but she was new on Tybee. She'd been here like 2 years, and she had missed the first 4th of July. So this is her first. We're drinking all day long, and so this is right after the fireworks. We're trying to get back to the north end of the island, and we're passing all these cars. She starts falling, but she's bumping into the cars.
Oh no! Yeah.
So the cars are keeping her from falling down, but you hit about 7 cars.
Yeah.
They'll finally call the cops. So. This is like 10th Street that happens. We get to like 3rd, and we're like, we need to get off this road. We need to get on the bike path. So we turn to the bike path. The cops are sitting there, and they're like, "You." Yeah. And she's like, "What?" And she falls off her bike in front of the police. Bike, and like it looks like in Wayne's World. Like she just tumbled all over the place.
7.5 dismount from the East Germans.
Now they just took her to jail. They didn't get they charged her with a BUI, but I think she got reduced to
Because they're pretty lenient if you're like kind of swerving down here, but hitting cars.
Well, she was like, "I'm drunk. I'm sorry."
Oops.
Yeah.
Speaking of code enforcement, Lars is down on the beach smoking a cigarette the other day because there is a smoking ban.
Why you gotta out me like that? That's so funny, man. I won't say which.
We'll call him Jars.
I will not say which yellow shirt it was.
Okay,
let's do that.
It was a yellow shirt.
What part of the beach? I'm just curious.
No,
we're not even going to say what part of the beach it was.
I want to know after that.
But I think he had the best answer to.
So I'm sitting there, and I always look around. Like I look left and right. I look for their little like RoboPope, whatever their little car thing is. And I don't see a shirt, and I don't hear the car. So I light up and have a cigarette. I was out of the water surfing, and all of a sudden I hear this behind me, and then I hear whoop whoop. This little tiny, like they just barely touched it. And he's like, "You're not allowed to smoke on the beach, sir." And I was like,
I had no idea.
And I was like, "It's an emotional support cigarette."
Aren't they all?
They are. I wasn't lying. Like, and he was like, he shook his head and he got back and he just drove away.
What can you do to that?
I mean, you got to.
All you got to do is say, "Carry on, sir."
I have a question about that. the beach, you're not allowed to smoke on. What about if you're standing in the water?
I was about to ask.
I
what if you're
wondered
sitting on your
about that
surfboard?
too, because technically,
You're
if
not
you're
on-
below the high water, like you're in
Exactly.
the water,
You're not on the beach.
You're not on the
and you're
beach.
not above the high water mark technically, but at some point you have to get out of the water.
True, but at that point you're not smoking.
And you can just
No,
eat
but
butt.
you're holding the cigarette.
Just eat it.
Because if not,
just eat it.
well, at that point I'll just chew skulls.
There you
It's
go.
nasty.
Just stick it between your lip and gum and
boof it.
enjoy the rest
Just
of that
boof it.
No, thank
tobacco.
you. I'm a sissy. I'll throw up right
You
there.
just boof it in there.
Boof it.
Oh, I'm not boofing it
Have you
either.
ever smoked in the water? I remember one
I
flotilla.
mean, I've stood in the water and smoked.
I remember one
flotillas.
flotilla. I was like, I need a cigarette, so I got up on a float and I tried to take 2 hits. And by the, like it is complete. I was like,
Yeah.
this
On
It's
the
worthless.
plastic float
I was like,
in the
this-
middle of the
I've
back
smoked.
river.
I've smoked.
I
50
too
cigarettes
like to
on a
live
flotilla before.
dangerously.
I'm drinking. I'm gonna smoke. So I just you dry real well, and then one person is in charge of cigarette disbursement. So it used to be me because I'm like, I'm not gonna drop this. I'm like, here you go, and here's one of your cigarettes. And then so I've lit in like 6 cigarettes. I'm like, I don't need one anymore. I've gotten my. But see, you gotta get the
After
waterproof.
lighting 19 cigarettes, you're done.
I had the necklace waterproof box. So
Gotcha,
in there,
gotcha.
credit card, cigarettes, lighter.
That
small
was
end.
clutch. You had to have that.
Yeah, and that keeps you from getting. That way, they won't get wet.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, it looks
Eventually-
really cool.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
With my flip-up visor sunglasses.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like what was his name from a different world? Dwayne.
It's
Dwayne Wayne.
Dwayne Wayne.
Dwayne Wayne. Dwayne Wade stole that name.
So, we're gonna talk about that second half.
We got some. Yeah,
So-
they have stuff.
So Lars works with Let's Say Huckapoos. How is so you bar back last night, but you start serving recently.
Yeah, about 3
And-
months ago, I was the accidental server. Someone called off, and Heather said, "Here's a pad, here's a pen.
That's how
Go to it."
That's how most people get in
Yeah.
there because somebody does. It's sort of weird because that's the one place where someone's always willing to work for you, pretty much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like someone's gonna. It's not like bending nails to get someone to come
No,
in.
people
and
were
work.
looking to cover shifts. Yeah.
People want it.
especially this time of year.
Yeah, but we've had so much turnover at this point, and we had some people come in yesterday, and like, wow, you have a lot of staff. I was like, yeah, we have a lot of staff now because these are all new people who haven't been disillusioned with what
Right,
it's like.
they don't know what it's really
And
like.
they're-
They
and
don't-
younger.
They're still in the
Yeah,
honeymoon.
yeah, exactly.
We had a really good barback kid for like 2 days.
We did, didn't we? He was amazing.
He was really good. I was like, see, you need that young blood, because they're like, yeah, let's do
Yep.
it. And then it sucked the spirit right out of this
Well, I think
kid.
what happened was he
like a shooting
probably
star.
ran the food to the wrong table once, and the kitchen just destroyed him emotionally.
That'll happen.
Back of the house can be brutal.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's
have
weird
thick
though.
skin.
It's weird though because if the back of the house f's anything up, you'd be like, "Hey man, there was extra."
Don't you dare call him out.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
same thing,
man.
but my job. I'm like,
It
what?
it does
Like
not go both ways.
you make one mistake, and they're like, oh no. I'm like, I've been taking like 3 months. Get off my ass.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I don't usually get crap in the kitchen because they know I don't. But like other people, like they'll make a mistake like every other shift. They're like, oh, dude, who has that tin top in the bar? They're like, oh, not him.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, he's gonna screw something up, and I'm like, hey man, take your time.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't mess this up. Double check, triple check, and then when you ring it in, go check again.
Don't be the guy that I was like, I
forgets a
don't, need,
medium
I
well
don't
steak.
need to write anything.
If it gets a medium well
Right.
steak,
Oh wow.
I don't write anything down for the most part, but I don't make any mistakes because I'm not gonna. If it's thing is sometimes it sucks. and
Because
I'll
he's
be,
Clint fucking King. That's why.
Goddamn right. And
Mark it.
and so it might be your first F on this, I think.
Maybe.
So, but it sucks because I'll be like on the third person, and they start giving me like a litany of things, and then I got to pull it out and just start writing down.
Your whole facade.
But
is
if
gone.
they're bad enough, I'll write theirs down, and then I'll put it away for the next person's order and be like, all right, I got that. And I'll leave, and everything comes out fine. I want them to be like, damn, I was that person. Because you are that person.
Yeah.
You come in with, I'm allergic to this, and this. I'm like, well, go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
If you're
Is there
allergic to
garlic in your
9
food in the French restaurant? No, not at all.
if you're allergic to 9 things, you might you do your research before you go to Owl.
If you're allergic to dairy, butter, garlic, and gluten,
Yeah, just stay home.
just stay home.
What
Yeah.
can I get?
But who
The
goes
fuck
to a
outta
pizza
here.
joint and,
Damn,
and
Florida's
wants to
coming
know
in
if there's
hard.
gluten in the pizza?
Gluten and
Or flour. I'm allergic to flour and wheat
dairy.
products.
I can't have cheese.
You do know this is a pizza joint, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we make pizzas without cheese all the time.
Would you
But
like
if
a hot dog?
But if you're actually
Just a hot
allergic
dog
to
in a bun.
dairy, that cheese is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
No
flour.
matter what.
There's
And
flour
the
everywhere.
flour's everywhere. I mean,
There's someone who hasn't worked in 2 days in the kitchen that's got flour on them right now behind their ear or something.
Yeah, if you have that, was it celiac?
Yeah, celiac.
If you suffer from celiac, probably not want to go to a pizza place.
No. I mean, they can go, to Domino's or Papa John's.
Well, we
Like,
started carrying the cauliflower.
Yeah, oh,
places.
that's right. The cauliflower.
Well, the
They're
thing
real
was,
small, too.
Here's the thing: real smart people would come in and they would go, "Hey, I'm gluten intolerant. Here is my pizza crust made of cauliflower.
There you go.
Will you please top it?
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Hello.
And you can get your own brand.
A person who thinks. I'm using my brainus right now, which is an asshole that can think.
Nice. Do we have to mark that? You just can't drop an F-bomb, but you can. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
Speaking of people that aren't assholes, the birthdays this week.
Let's hear them.
Coco, Miss Stephanie Knight, her birthday.
Coco, the legend.
Can we say how old she is?
You go.
If you want to die,
I'll do it. I don't care. She's 51.
51.
happy
Because I went to her
birthday,
50th
Coco.
I love you,
party last year.
Coco.
Yeah.
I went to her 50th party last year. And,
She looks amazing.
in
She does,
Saloon.
doesn't she?
She does. She looks great.
Yeah, she's like a vampire.
Happy birthday to my boy Jason Lanier. Works at the B Company with Shay. Friend for a very long time. Awesome ass DJ. And a really good dude. Happy birthday, Colin Sullivan.
Oh, God.
My beard brother.
Crowbar friend, the Crowbar friend. Yeah, his beard might be longer than yours now.
Yeah, it is.
Were they having his party today?
Colin's birthday is today.
Yeah, because they asked me. I was like, man, I work on Monday nights. I do the podcast. They're like, work? I'm like, yeah, I mean,
People that say that's not work, I'm like, look, you don't see the stress we go through. Okay, that's
Yeah.
work. And we're not making paid crap.
yeah, exactly.
My sister's like, well, you get to drink at work. I'm like, you can drink at work a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. The whole like pre-part of this was like stressful as hell for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
couldn't
like
believe it.
charging stuff, and you know.
When people aren't here, like 2 hours beforehand, I come up and like, make sure this is charged. Yeah, I'm gonna, the scene's gonna.
I'm like, I can help. I'll do dishes.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I bring vodka. That helps
Yeah.
a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying. You bring the vodka, and if you cook something, you wash the dishes before you go. And
Yes.
things like
Do
that.
you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you can come to my house anytime you want.
Well, see, when I go to other people's houses and they're like having like dinner or whatever, at minimum, I take my plate and rinse it.
Yeah.
Some people have their thing where they want it in a certain place.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I'll rinse it. But if it's like a pot or a pan I can wash real quick.
Yeah.
And my homeboy V, I love you. V is like, move. I've got this. And he'll wash everything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm like, you put that dishwasher. Like, I'm washing it with my hand.
He's
And
dish pit certified.
Yeah, he's just certified.
I have one more birthday to
yeah?
add to the list. A very, very special Patreon member, Mr. Scott Jacobs. Happy birthday.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, it is.
He sent me that earlier, and I was like, don't say anything until the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's the real Scott Jacobs. If he didn't steal that birthday, it's stolen birthday valor. He can do stolen birthday
Could be
valor.
fake birth news.
He ate 6 Big Macs for his
So here's the question: do I text the other Scott Jacobs on Patreon and be like, "Hey, is your birthday?" Or is that fake news?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Or when's your birthday? Bro is in the lead.
Smoking you today, buddy. You better catch
Not
up.
all you're smoking today. But yes, happy birthday, Scott Jacobs, real, fake, and otherwise. Is the real Scott Jacobs not even fake though? Like he's fake also.
This is an enigma. I
Wrapped
mean,
in a quandary.
this is
Have we said
Still
Scott
doing
Jacobs
it.
more than we've said Temple Grandin?
Temple Grandin. We haven't mentioned Temple Grandin
We have Temple
It's like a hug.
in quite a long time.
It's like a fake birthday. It's a birthday paradox.
Speaking of autism, was this your first industry job at Huckapoo's?
No, it was not my first industry job. I was confused there for a minute about autism, and then I realized you were talking about me.
Well, no.
Sorry.
I found this shot cup and it said Downsy on it.
Oh, no. Oh,
And that's Downsy, but not Downsy like that.
It's my shot glass, and it's...
The doctor gave it to you.
No.
I'm sorry, but here's his shot glass. It's a parting gift.
It's a very good. It's a
can't call
great.
the podcast
It's a
that.
great logo. Should we tell the story real quick or not?
No,
Okay,
that's
so
you're the
time.
guest.
all right, so I don't know if anyone is familiar with Glazed and Confused on the island.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we meant to say that.
Yeah, so Glazed and Confused, the paint your own pottery shop. I started that 2016.
I thought it was the donut shop.
I know, and I did
Donut
that on
shop?
purpose actually, just to
Wasn't it
confuse
called
the hell out of
Wasn't it called Glazed and Confused? The donut
There
place?
might be one somewhere, but yeah.
And it's right across from a coffee
And
shop.
it's right
so-
across from a coffee shop. So
I got you. I'll do my own research. Go ahead.
so I was like, all right, I need to have a logo that fits Tybee, because Glazed and Confused is perfect for Tybee.
Yeah.
Perfect. So in 2015, about 15 of me and my friends went to the Outer Banks. We all had our own shot glasses, and we had to draw a picture on the shot glass. Well, I drew this picture of a confused person, and they said, well, you got to name it. And I was like, Downsy. So it's stuck. So I need everyone to know that when you look at the Glazed and Confused logo, his name is
His name is
Downsy.
Downsy. Yeah.
His name is
'Cause
Downsy.
you
gotta have a good
circular
mascot.
face
And
with
it's
like
on the
a-
surfboard, yeah, and it's a circular face, and he looks gifted.
Gifted and
Yeah,
challenged.
so we
at the
call him
same time.
Downsy. That is the logo.
When I found Downsy at work, I found the shot glass. I was like, who made this for Mike Henderson?
Right? And he even asked me, he's like,
why is he
whose
posting
is
it?
this? I was like, it's mine. I told
I
him.
said another name too, but I won't mention
Right.
it.
I told him the story in shame.
Mention it.
I wouldn't. That might come back on you there a little bit, buddy.
One quick note on the pottery shop. It was my idea with another person back in 2014 or 2015. The only reason I even built that shop was completely out of spite and pettiness because that person and I broke up, and she said, "You'll never be able to do that without me." So when you drive past Glazed and Confused, that is spite.
It's a spite shop.
You gotta
It's a
love it.
spite shop.
You gotta love spite is a great motivator. Though,
It is. It
sometimes.
really is. Yeah.
It might be the best motivator. There's this in Japan. They call it like kusanuji or something like that.
Yes.
It's when someone tells you that you
You
can't
can't
do
do
something.
something.
There's people that say that the reason Donald Trump ran for president, like so aggressively, is because Barack Obama was like, "You'll never be president." He was like, "I'll show him."
It was the big press.
The press
the
dinner
White
they
House.
do.
Yep.
Which those things are great.
Yeah, because it was on like what's called a Chef's Table or something, the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Little Japanese lady, and she came from one of the most traditional Japanese families where women are very low. You know, all you do is support the brothers or the fathers or whatever. And even the older brother to this day, she's like super high-rated chef. He's her fishmonger.
Oh, good for her.
Good for
Yes.
her.
And
Nice.
but he still treats her like second class.
She just still takes it.
Yeah, well, she's just like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a lesbian, which the traditional Japanese hate.
No.
She just fucked their whole shit up.
Oof.
I loved it because she was like, and she's real meek about it, you know? She was like, well, me and my partner. You know what I mean? And then she goes, and, we got to go see my brother. He supplies my fish. You know?
For now.
Oh, so many
For
levels.
now.
But they're in like San Francisco or whatever. I was like, what a great story.
That is
Spite
wonderful.
Spite is the ultimate motivator.
Spite
Yeah,
will
it
mo-
is.
I mean, it really will.
the shit out of you.
It's great. Or you'll just cry.
Yeah.
It could either ruin you.
Or you can just steal someone's valor. I mean, you know.
And speaking of partners, so speaking of
we're bringing Vinny up again.
King Diamond.
I was listening to another podcast the other day, and this dude goes into, I just thought this was hilarious. This dude goes in to order a coffee, and he goes, I'll take a half calf of this. And he goes, my wife will take half calf of that. And the barista goes, you mean your partner? He's like, what? No, my wife. You mean your partner?
My wife?
No.
My wife. Because, all right, so if I called Allie my partner, she'd be like, what, are we in fucking business together? Maybe?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking about business when you said
I
that.
haven't seen any money.
And I'm not saying partner is exclusive. No, he didn't write it down.
I got to sign
I'm not
for it
saying
now.
partner is exclusive to gay people. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, because the thing is, if you're married to if two men are married, that's my husband. That's my husband. Or two lesbians, that's my wife. But if some people just want to say partner, they're more comfortable with it.
I
That's
think
cool.
if you don't feel like getting married,
then it's just your partner.
Then you're really smart.
Three-fourths of us would agree.
Bro's like,
oh, we should have had him on for Father's Day.
Sorry.
He's the only father in the room. And his Instagram handle is not your dad's.
All right, well, you're out there now.
you know what, though? I decided the day before Father's Day I didn't ever want to have kids. So I called him on Father's Day and told him. It didn't go over so well.
Is it 28th year abortion?
With that, we will see you after the break.
I'm sorry, dude. I couldn't.
That was great.
Dude, sometimes my inside voice comes out.
All right, and welcome back to From
Hey,
Behind the Barcast. Yes.
Before we start, what does a woman with a tight pussy say, guys?
I have no idea.
I knew none of you would know.
And that's the dad joke of the week.
Hey, that's pretty good. It worked.
Dad joke of the week.
It's not really fair.
Shout out
the
to Vinny
shape I'm
King.
in
I
right
stole
now.
Vinny King told me that joke last night. I was like, writing it down. For
That's
tomorrow.
not fair.
We're back here with our friend Lars, short for Lance. But on the break, we were talking about random gifts you get in your car, and someone put a candle into your truck that said,
The scent was cocaine and hookers.
Oh, I know her.
So then you're like, well, I guess cocaine and hookers smell like sage and lavender. And I was like,
I mean, that's what they smell like.
I was
apparently.
like, no, that's the name of the hookers that I've.
Oh, that's what that meant. Okay.
Sure wasn't laughing him.
Like, hey, you calling sage or lavender tonight?
Because I kept lighting it and going, this does not smell like sage and lavender.
This does not smell like shame.
No. It's like, yeah.
This doesn't smell like baby powder.
Before we start, I want to give a shout out to my sister Charlotte and your girlfriend Allie for being our biggest supporters. We post anything we post. Sometimes things get throttled and only gets 1 or 2 likes, but those 2 ladies are always the first one.
Yeah, Facebook especially.
Oh, it's the word. It'll be like 6. It'll be like 6 views, or no, 0 views, and I'm like, that's 2 likes. Like,
right, yeah, and then on the same Instagram, which is connected to the Facebook, if that's 100 of something, we get 1 of something on the Facebook.
but my thing, so Charlotte has to love me because we're related. But what's Allie's
Yeah.
excuse?
They're related.
Hey! Back to the Alabama podcast.
Sorry, that was my dad joke.
That won't be the last one.
So find us on our new YouTube channel, From Behind the Barcast, with a hyphen between the bar and the cast. And this is where you
Or
will
you can
get.
go to our Instagram page and click on it. It's on the header.
You switched it to. Very nice. Look at us with our technology.
Bam!
Well, that was
and our
very,
2 really small tea bags.
That was a very cool move of you, but you know what? Who aren't cool?
Isn't
Shit.
Who
It's the
isn't?
Karen
Who's not?
of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh, they really are tea bags. Sorry, I thought there was
Oh, shit.
Paxton's got a contact. Hi. Aren't you?
So welcome to From Behind the Barcast, first segment. Wait a minute, it's Monday. Wait a minute.
You got to contact Ty earlier somehow
So
too.
we've probably got a plethora of Karens and Darrens this week. So I'm going to go first with my very short one. It's a very short Karen, and then we'll just pass the peas, as it were, like old James Brown used to say.
Yep, he's got a contact.
So Sunday yesterday, I'm at work, and it was so much chiller than Saturday. Right when I first got there, I've got this couple. I'm a little late because I went to shout out to Allie. She gave a speech, like a bird presentation at the Tiger Post Theater.
Shorebirds thing?
And it was a packed house, huge thing.
It went well?
It went super well. She was so good on the mic. Her boss Abby was really amazing.
Y'all are related.
They passed it back and forth. I forgot to mention. So Gingerella, remember
Yes, Cinderella.
did I mention this? So they go, we hired a new employee at Manomet.
Okay, Ginger.
Her name is
Ginger.
so Gingerella. And I go, does she not have red hair? She goes, no. She goes, I was like, oh my God.
Wait, I might know her sibling, her husband.
Well, anyway, so this first couple was there, and Erin was the daytime bartender. She was like, I'm gonna pass these guys to you, but they have a question. They're like, hey, was The Rock here one time, and did he get like assaulted by a woman? I was like, I was here.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, yeah. I was here whenever they were shooting Baywatch, whatever. I never saw The Rock, but his cousin.
He's not a big bar guy.
That's what, yeah.
And
I mean, like,
now more than he does because of tequila, but he's not a.
He lifts bars.
He lifts bars. Lots of bars at one time.
But his cousin would come in all the time.
Who's
his-
just like
The
him.
Pebble.
His body double. No,
Yeah.
he ain't no Pebble. He's a boulder. Which is his body double. Almost the
Oh
same
yeah.
tattoos.
He has a very similar tattoo just for the purpose
Biggest
of
dickhead in the world. So I told them that. I was like, nah, man, only his stunt double would
that.
come
But
in.
Dwayne is a nice guy.
The thing is, Dwayne's the nicest guy.
Like
This-
we know him personally.
This guy is so big. And,
I don't wanna call him Mr. Johnson.
And there's certain places that you stand in Hugapoos where if there's a huge person there, you just can't get by. So people would be like, excuse me. He's like, hands off, don't touch me. So I got this amazing couple. We have this like great rapport. They close their tab. Another couple comes in. This couple comes in. They're like, hey, first time here.
Has The Rock been here?
We had an amazing time with this couple, right? Effortless. They go.
Two couples in a row pleased you.
3 couples in a row. The third couple comes in. Man, we were
3
on-
couples of pleasure.
3.
3.
I'm on a roll, man. I'm like, we're not busy. Like it's boom, 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 boom. I mean, we're having the best time. I was like, couples.
That was an F. I heard it. I'm sorry.
I was like, couples are killing it
not
tonight. I love couples tonight. So then,
Just the tip.
couple number 4 comes in, and they sit down, and they're kind of meek. It was a little late, and I'd kind of gotten all my.
But you're on the roll though.
I was on the roll, and I was like, well, "What's happening, guys?"
You're like, am I going to shoot 1,000 for the first time ever?
no respect. They were like, "Hey, what's up?" like, okay. You guys need a menu? No. I was like, you want something to drink? They're like, yeah. Do you have like a drink list? I was like, we don't have a drink list, but we have a beer list. And this is the you look over here. This is the liquors that we have. So they get 2 amaretto sours. It's cool, whatever.
Interesting summer choice.
So drink that, and then they're like, "Can I try the cider?" So I haven't broken through with them, but I'm not trying that hard.
Tell them the rock story.
Yeah. But I'm not trying that hard because I'm not caring at this. You know, like I'm never gonna force someone to try and like me. If they want to sit there and chill and like not, shoot the shit with the bartender, I don't care. So I'm not
As
trying
we
to
discussed last week. Sometimes you gotta get people, their own space.
Exactly, and sometimes when I go to a
And
bar.
what time? So you've been through 3 couples. This is like at least after 10.
This is like 10:30 probably, something
Okay.
like that. So and they're just sitting there. I'm not at this point. I'm like, they want to be left alone, but they're not really talking to each other. But when they do, they're kind of like a little whispery, whatever.
Young, old, age.
25-ish,
okay.
something like that.
Really?
And two girls. I couldn't tell if they were together, but like. They
didn't say this is my partner.
Yeah, no, there's no mention of partner, but one was a little butch and one was a little pretty. So I was like, it's possible. But,
yeah.
I just didn't assume anything. They could just be
That's how I
friends
feel
or
at a bar
whatever.
with Paxton.
Exactly, yeah. Who's butch?
Wait a minute. Which one's Butch?
We're both butch.
Thank you.
He's the Sundance Kid, I'll tell you that. So this song comes on.
The cum dance kid.
Everyone's high today. Everyone is high today.
You actually look kind of high. Like you chilled out since the first break.
So a song comes on the radio, which I don't typically hear on the Huckapoos radio because I guess Alex had control of the music, and it is a song called "Teenage Dirtbag," which I haven't heard in forever, except for I watched, and this is no spoilers here, but I watched "Girl from Plainview," which was a series on Hulu that was shot in Savannah about the girl who convinced her boyfriend to kill himself or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I knew they were shooting it in Savannah. They shot a little bit of it at Bubba Gumbo's.
In front of Fanny's for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and they rode by Fanny's 6 times in the show, pretending like they were on a 6-mile bike ride, whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
So the song comes on, right? And I was like, oh my God, I hadn't heard this until I just watched Girl from Plainview. And, there's a scene in it where they play that song. It's like a dream sequence where all of her friends are calling her a teenage dirtbag or whatever. And this hoe in front of me goes, I was like, Girl from Plainview, can you believe this?
Was it Butch or the cum dance kid?
It was the cum dance kid. I was like, can you believe this? I was like, have you watched Girl from Plainview? She goes, I was in it. Okay.
Oh, what?
She was an extra, or?
I did not want
She's
to.
being extra, so.
She was being extra, and I was like, oh, cool. And that was it. I didn't talk to her.
That's the best response.
Oof.
Because at first.
And this is a girl from the questionable lesbian couple.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right.
So, but the thing was, I was like, at first, I wanted to be like, oh, were you an extra? Because I watched the show.
She didn't have a Hollywood face.
I watched the show. I don't remember,
Yeah.
Are we yellow up?
Yes.
I watched the show. I don't remember her. I mean, she wasn't, terribly unattractive, but immediately I was like, what kind of fucking response is that? To me, the one time, because she was singing it, she was like, I was like,
Oh, so she was singing the song too. Okay.
So I was like, here's a way to connect. Even though
I'm getting in.
Because she showed some excitement about the song, so immediately you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Here's my moment to at least try and wrap this up in a good way. I was in it. I was like, well, I'm out. I'm out of this relationship.
I'm also out of whatever you order next.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Right. Kitchen closes in 29 minutes.
Pax Cassidy
I'm
and the
losing the
Cum Dance Kid.
ticket.
You were there. I closed probably like 20 minutes after that
He did.
interaction happened.
He really
Yeah.
did. I was actually shocked.
Thanks,
I was
Cum
like,
Dance
oh,
Kid.
my
You ruined it
God.
for everybody else.
So, Karens and Darrens, let's hear them, Lars. I know you have a few.
I mean, the recent one I had was not just yesterday, but 2 Sundays ago. I was working and a lady on the deck was like looking at me. I think she thought I was her server, but I wasn't. And she does one of these.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
if you're on
like,
Spotify, turn on your phone and look at
Yeah.
that. 'Cause that move is
2
worth saying.
claps.
2 claps
And a finger?
one finger. And I'm like, I told her, I was
Nobody
like,
wants
look,
this one
I don't
finger.
come with 1 finger and it's in my ass.
Lucky you.
Her kids are at the table. Her husband's at the table.
Hey man, you ask for smoke, you get smoke.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly. So I walk through the kitchen as the grabbing food, and I give Eric just a little tiny warning, not specifics.
Not
specifics, no. But I'll do that.
It might rain in a minute.
Little
Just
head-
let you know.
Someone's
Little
going to
heads up
shit
here,
on your
E.
fucking dinner.
Get your umbrella
Mark
prepared.
that.
Put your galoshes on.
So I give him kind of a vague warning about a lady. She's kind of unhappy. She was rude to me. 5 minutes later, I'm walking in there and I see them boxing up this huge order because she had it was her husband and her kids. There must have been about 7 of them, and they got all their food to go.
There you go.
Hey,
Good for you.
Good.
Yeah.
You wipe the Karen off the porch. That's what you
Don't
want to
ask
do.
for smoke if you don't want smoke.
I mean, honestly, I was just kind of hoping she put her finger in my butt. She was kind of cute.
That's why she's a Karen. She wouldn't finger my ass.
That's how she was just testing. She was like, "Does one work? Oh no, oh kinky."
Are you a twofer?
Hey, come here. You got both fists. Wave me over with both fists.
Well, actually, to the same effect, I was behind the bar, and over in the corner, I see this dude waving like he's landing a plane. And I was
everyone's favorite.
I was like, I swear I thought he saw one of his friends or whatever. So he continues to wave like he's landing a plane all the way up until he gets to me. And I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, can I get a drink? I was like, you're literally as far away as a human can be that is still on this property. and you're waving.
You're Inferno waving at me.
From the rocks.
Like, what is that? Who's handing
He was just trying to give you a heads up.
Well, and then when he got
It's gonna
there,
be
he
a
goes,
complicated
Let
drink."
me get another round.
Whoosh.
Never seen this man before in my life.
Oh, and we had a lost adult there yesterday as well.
Oh.
So
Wait, it was somebody's birthday we know. I don't want to call out Catherine Bunger, but was it her?
no, it was an adult male. Alex walks out. He goes,
He
"Hey there."
works there. His name is Mike Henderson.
He's always lost. He walks out, or Alex walks out, and he goes, "There's this lady looking for her son. Have you seen a guy in a Pirates jersey, 6'3", very drunk?" I was like, "I haven't, because that's pretty
descriptive.
pretty descriptive." So then about 10 minutes later, this lady walks out. She goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, what you want to drink?" She goes, "Have you seen my son?" And she holds she holds her phone up, and this dude,
But she had a picture.
she had a picture and with the thing that he was wearing.
Oh, it was the same outfit. I wanted to ask that, but I felt bad.
So either he's a little downsy and wears it every day, or
Or he owns
This wasn't the first time.
7 jerseys.
just like a
same
cartoon
thing.
every day.
And he's always drunk.
I was like, he is and you could tell by the picture how giant this guy was. I was like, how do you lose a
How old is he?
probably mid-20s, late 20s, something
Old
like
enough to be drunk and lost? Okay.
that. Yeah, I was like, how do you lose a human that is that large?
Yeah, it's like you lost someone who's 5'2". You know, you're like, oh no, where are they?
Lost your phone? Yeah, people do. Lost, I
You
don't know.
don't have Find My Giant Idiot
don't
on your phone? Is that new app?
Find my giant idiot son. That's the type of person you need to tie one of
The
those
little bracelets.
a balloon to.
Oh, I'm new school. I better brace
Now,
some GPS on that.
how old did you say it was?
About like mid-20s.
Oh, well, I mean, that's good because he's at that age where they did that whole Identikid thing where they fingerprinted every damn kid that was ever born. Like,
When did they start doing
the
that?
Oh, in
database,
the
yeah, it was
90s.
part of a school
Late-
program. They would
eight-
come and
yeah,
fingerprint.
mid-90s.
School program.
Right.
Hey, my fingerprints, my rights. Okay.
No, but the problem is, like, if you wanted to get rid of your kids, they'd always find you.
The problem is
quandary.
Like in the old days, you could just drop them off. They ain't tracking them back to you. Nowadays, everyone's
now you can't
fingerprinted.
now you can't do nothing about nothing.
no,
No fun.
Now you can't do nothing about it.
you can't. Ooh, yeah.
And
Anyways,
we're not going to talk about it, but I did think of one thing, and I just had to.
That would have been my dinner of the week.
I
those people.
I had to make the joke though. I was like, I never thought about it, but roe are eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same spelling, too.
You never.
Yeah.
I never connected.
There's a
that.
comedian that made that joke in like the late 80s, early 90s, and I
Well,
saw
thanks,
it on
sorry.
Control.
Sorry.
God, he got stealing this guy's act. Obviously, he was popular enough. I remember who the hell he is.
Nah,
Wait,
I was
hold on.
like, oh man,
I have a memory tool.
And maybe he was wade fishing when it happened.
I thought I thought I had a really
That was way
original.
too far.
I thought I had a really original joke. Well, anyway, so we can continue on with
These
our
these aren't good memory drugs. Actually, it's going the wrong way.
So down here on Tybee, something has happened.
Yeah, my dinner of the week that Paxton is just straight over hijacked.
Yeah, I know.
God, he just waited over here and took it from me.
We'll just wait on you to drink that beer and start your story.
Pax Cassidy and the Come Dance Kid over here. So, my dinner of the week is the Tybee Island. It's Karen and Darren.
Yeah.
It's the Tybee Island City Council who quickly and quietly passed a bill about no music after 10 p.m. during the week on a town where we mentioned earlier, you've only got a few things to do. Beach, drink, and listen to some live music. And when the sun goes down, you can be on the beach, but you don't get in the water like you normally do. But when the sun goes down, you can listen to music.
You can go to a bar and enjoy a band.
But until 10 o'clock. And then after that, it's just shitty. But what about and midnight on weekends?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Passed by people that moved here, or promoted by people that moved here in the last 5 to 8 years of their life.
Yes.
That moved into a certain establishment on the north end. We'll call it Bugaboos. That's been there, for 25 plus years.
They're like, why is the property so cheap right here next to the busiest bar on Tybee?
Yeah, one of the busiest bars in the county because there's live music late. But you moved in knowing that. You had an opportunity to figure that you could go to that bar, hang out there, and go, oh, play music late.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to live here. Or you can go, you know what? These damn kids, I'm going to get them with my money.
Right. Yeah. And we were talking about the short-term vacation rentals as well.
Some of the people pushing that own multiple properties in this little area.
So people that rent to those short-termers come in, whether they know it or not, whenever they call in and complain about music, that gives the cops a headache. And the cops are like, just shut up, man, it's a bar. Like, the cops don't care. But that is going to trickle down because if you annoy me enough,
Yep.
I'm going to try, I'm going to start making changes somewhere. But it's not the people who live here that are like complaining because everywhere you live down here, you're going to hear something. You're going to hear people walking home from the bar.
I could hear music from my mom's house in Horace Pinpoint.
Yeah.
So it's about even with like 13th, 12th Street.
Yeah.
But the sound's open all the way. The sound, which if you're not from here is called the area where the marsh is open all the way to AJ's. And back porch, nothing between here and there. So you would hear music at midnight on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or a Thursday night.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, you're not hearing death metal.
And you're not hearing bass.
You're not hearing, I mean, for those of you that are old people listening to our podcast that are 80, hi, welcome. I'm sorry you found us. But you were hearing like heavy rap music. It was mostly,
Jimmy Buffett covers.
It's calmer music. You're not hearing anything aggressive.
Yeah.
Anything that's too high paced. A lot of times you're hearing like hippie soul music where you're just like, I know maybe it's because it was one long song.
Yeah.
Like I heard the same song for 3 hours.
Like, I'm sick of the same song for 3 hours.
Was it some band called Pisces? Fish.
Pisces.
It's Fish.
I used to live on 17th Street.
I'm a little high.
17th Street, but on the back riverside. So the back riverside, there's no waves coming in, right? But I lived on a corridor, so the street from my house led all the way to the beach side where the waves do crash. And on certain nights, since the wind corridor was coming down the street, I could hear waves the sound
Of waves crashing,
6 blocks away.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So what people don't understand is especially the way the wind is blowing.
You're on an
where you
island.
live. You're on an island. You're going to hear something somewhere. You're going to hear a mosquito fart over here.
Yeah, I can hear Benny's at my house. I'm 12th and 6th Avenue, and I can hear the music at Benny's.
Yeah.
And the trash get taken out.
Unfortunately, the karaoke also.
Ooh.
I know, especially if you're around Huckapoos, at least you get to hear like kind of original music and live music. Other places, it's a guy with a fucking iPod playing guitar over Jimmy
That's the
Buffett's
thing.
songs.
Or it's just the get that one. Or it's just those little carrot.
You in the SS? Jesus, man. Let a guy get an F.
What are you, a cop?
I'm the worst cop.
I know.
You actually look like a cop.
I wear aviators too. I do like cop. I get cop
deep undercover.
Or we have a military discount. I'm like, oh, thanks. And they're like, do you have your? I'm like, no, I don't. I need to find someone who looks like me though and get their military ID. And they're like, no, I'm not going to steal valor because I'm not Scott Jacobs. The first one, not the new one. The new one, I like you. Six Big Macs and all. But all the jukebox machines, they're loud. They're not going to cut those off. Or TVs. So the sandbar door is open, and I love the sandbar. I'm not hating on the sandbar. That's the one I can hear the most. I could literally leave the sandbar and come home, go back porch, and be like, oh, same band. But it's just because the way that you said the sound core's coming down. So if they've got their jukebox on, also coming down, so now there's just no music. Or no, you want the doors closed in a hot bar in July and August,
I would posit some of those jukeboxes are much louder than some of the the acoustic acts and the bands that play.
No, I definitely agree. Unless it's open mic night at Sandbar, that is pretty loud. It's cranking.
Well,
But that's
see,
really
you
the
don't
only
know how
night,
to
and it's
use-
over by 11.
Yeah. And the thing is, most people on this island that pay the most taxes and spend the most money on this island are up past 11 on weeknights and past 1 on weekends.
You know
so why are you
Yeah.
assaulting the people that spend the most money on the island? They don't pay the most property taxes, but they spend the most money. So that your tax revenue is overall, and the most money put into businesses is from the locals.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
want to make the people that are giving you the most mad because of those who are giving you the most at one time.
I made
wrong game?
a speech
Wrong
to
game?
city council one time, and it was a long time ago when they were proposing one of these
Is that
noises.
when you're running for mayor?
Duke.
That would have been great if you got Duke at the debate.
Someone walked up the other night. I haven't heard this in forever, and they go, "Drain the creek," and then they turned and looked at me. I was like, "It's not me. It's my cousin." I kind of totally forgotten about it. Whatever.
Even though there's a sign on the deck that says "Drain the Creek."
I was like, "Oh yeah, that thing's there."
That thing.
But so I made this speech, and I was like, if you want to talk about what a local is and what a local cares about, I spend my money in 2 other places than Tybee. My phone bill and my internet bill. Literally, I shop at IGA. You know, I pay rent down here. Yeah, everything I buy.
Yeah, when you live on Tybee, I lived here forever, and like, you'd go to town. If you went to town, you'd maximize your trip. You're like
100%.
You're like Walmart, Publix,
TJ
Home
Maxx.
Depot, Lowe's,
Yeah.
TJ Maxx. Oh yeah, at the candle stores, whatever. You go
Exactly.
your Bath and Body Works. You go everywhere at one time because you're like, I want to do this again.
So
but the thing is, you can get everything you need for the most part.
Or the
at
sex
IGA
shop, which
or Amazon.
a sex shop, which one of our loyal listeners goes to, which I'm not going to dox, but every time
what's their name?
He goes in there to get cartridges. You'll figure it out by this. He'll go in there to
It's
get
just cartridges.
whipped cream cartridges, and they're like,
I wonder where it is.
I was thinking tobacco
oh
cartridges.
no, whippets. And he was like, could I get a bag for this? They go, we don't hand out bags. And he was like, why? Is it like an environmental thing? He goes, no, we want people to have to carry the dildo out. We don't want them to be able to hide the
What
dildo.
sex shop is that? I want to patronize them. I want to go shop there.
Oh my.
I have to carry the dildo.
That's when Karen second guessed getting the 9-incher versus the 4-incher.
Can I return this for a 7? I want to get a 7 now. I got a long. I rode the
damn.
bus here. I can't walk out
I
to my
can't
car.
imagine the Karen that returns like dildos and dildon'ts to these places, and they're like,
Thing is,
they're
someone-
like, ma'am, we
Someone
don't.
rides the bus to the sex store. Just get on the bus with your dildo in your lap.
The
That's when
King
you
Kong
return
gong.
it. You're like, I bought 4. These are it's for a bachelorette party, okay? It's not for me. Why do you have the attachers? I don't know. I've only bought one thing from a sex store in the last decade, and it was like a dark black bag that was like not sex toys on the side, It is very.
It's definitely not sex
Definitely
toys.
not sex toys. There's no lube in here.
I love the definitely not gay concept. I put the boofing ice cubes thing up the other day, and the dude goes, "Nah, man, I would never put anything in my butt." I'm like, okay, we got a case of the not gays here. Whoa, watch out!
At some point in life, something may happen to you.
Watch out, dude's not gay. Let's everyone be sure.
So sometimes in life,
All right, well, we got
something
to.
happens to you, and you have to stick something up your butt to make it go away. And I'm not saying it's happened to me.
You're asking for examples?
Yes, I have an example. Let's tell our
You
example.
first. No, you
Okay.
first.
So, I was deathly ill one time, like deathly. I don't vomit ever, but I got home from work one night. I started not feeling great, and I vomited so much I passed out one time. So I'm throwing up into the.
Were you doing whippets?
No, I literally got off work. I vomited and I woke up on the floor. I was like, oh no, this could have. I was alone too for like 2 hours.
Which could have gone really bad.
Allie had left to get me suppositories. So
Could you have passed out? She's like, now's my chance to get him.
So
I can finally do this.
So she came back.
He became the come dance kid that way.
She came back and she was like, "You or me?" I was like, "I'll try first." It was rejecting.
Because you know what's coming. You're doing it yourself.
Rejecting.
Shoot across the room, hit the wall, like bounce around. Was it like?
It's like an airsoft rifle. But once it got in,
No. You can't skip over the next part.
You can't
You
just do
already
that.
teased.
You skipped the best part.
Yeah, you said, Allie said, is it you or me? And then you're like, and
I
it's in
feel like
there.
we missed the part. Did I
You did
black
yada,
out?
Yada, yada.
yada. No. So I tried to do it a couple times. And it was airsofting out of.
Now, was it like bouncing off the rim? Like, what was happening?
It would
Trying to throw it in there.
it would insert, and then something inside me was like a marble,
It's like an organ being rejected.
like flicking a paper football.
Was Allie like, go? Was she making the goal?
She wasn't involved in the first round.
You made her leave the room.
No.
That's true. I guess you don't want to.
Second
You don't
round.
want to watch.
Second round, I was like, "Come here." I laid on the bed, lifted my leg up. I was like, "Let's go."
Get Kroger back for a glove and stick it in there.
She went raw dog. And, hey, not gay. Definitely not gay. Hey, man. Not.
They are brother and sister.
I'm so glad she's not making my coffee anymore.
Ooh, that's a new chocolate coffee. That's a half calf, half ass.
This is a cafe au lait.
That's good.
Cafe au cone.
All right, suppository.
Oh, no, it wasn't. The subject wasn't
He said- it was
suppository.
suppository.
The subject was
Suppository.
something happens to you, and you have to put something in your butt.
Exactly.
Oh,
It could
okay.
be rape.
Like, it could
Committed a
be
bad crime.
anything. Yeah, like that could be anything, right?
You guys are going to smoke your weed. I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
Oh, God, inside.
Suppository.
Oh, man.
Can I get that Yingling bottle?
Here you go. I got one right here for you. It hasn't been in my ass yet.
Inside, yeah, don't judge me in my own house. Lars.
I'm kidding, obviously.
Lance.
I wish my cigarettes weren't on the porch.
Okay, so you had.
I think you need to go next.
So, what situation where you have something in
If
your
he's
ass?
playing cleanup, not figuratively,
Mine involved a lot of cleanup.
then this must be good. Please.
Right, so I was at a rave. I got this roll. It was really skinny, and the only way to get no, I'm just so.
Wait a minute. That's definitely probably a true story, but we'll let you
No,
slide
the true
on
story. We'll slide it in the Patreon. So
Page.
that's how I became the cum dance kid. So I had a hemorrhoid one time. We won't say what caused it.
Last week.
that. He was uncomfortable last week.
I don't know what it could have been. Could have been 5 reasons I can think of. 5 reasons, and they're all the same, but there's 5 of them
It's the
somehow.
same thing 5 times.
If you
Quick
put the same
succession.
thing, if you put the same thing in your body 5 times, that shouldn't be in there, but 1 time at the most, sometimes you got something in your ass, and they're 50% cocoa butter, and the rest is the medicine, and you just like it's a little missile.
Was it like
It goes right in there.
I find it interesting you called it a missile.
Yeah, well, I haven't had anything else in my ass so to think about.
meat missile?
It was yeah. Oof. So, but it did take 3 fingers to get it in there.
Wait a minute. Is that the is that the prescription name? They're like, ooh, you need a missile.
Well, I got the generic.
So wait a minute. It's
Scud
it's
missile.
a hemorrhoid suppository.
Yeah, and it makes it go away on the inside.
I was
So
in the
it felt like
Navy, so we called them torpedoes.
You called him Sea Daddy. But yeah, 3 times of that. Things when you stayed up, you're like, uh-oh. Trying to reject, so I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But I've got good control.
So you didn't airsoft it out? Like,
I broke one.
So you kegeled it.
Yeah. I came too fast and it snapped in half. I'm glad this is too long to clip. Yeah, just it gets in there and you just wash the hell out your hand, or you wear a glove, or you raw dog it.
or you raw dog it, yeah.
It's my ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Raw
yeah.
dogged it, cleaned it off, went on.
It's a whistle.
All right, so something you had to put in your ass was a decision you made in life.
Oh, no, wait, now you're changing it. Is it because of a decision I made or just something happened?
Something happened.
Something happened.
And caused something to go into your ass. It could be a car accident on a stick shift. We don't know.
I had a skateboard go in my ass one time.
That was not an accident.
Not
though.
the whole thing.
Just the wheels.
I mean, mine's kind of the suppository, too. They were pain medicine about 7 or 8 years ago. And I was home alone, actually, when I had to put it in my ass. The funny part isn't that I had
the first pill.
It was the first one, but it wasn't.
You didn't ask the nurse to show you.
No, she wasn't attractive.
Well, they can put it in their own ass.
I think it'd be better if they weren't attractive.
No, actually, I'd prefer they were. I got a great imagination. So
Light switch.
It wasn't the whole fact that I had to put a suppository up, in my ass for pain relief. It was that kind of like you, the first one kind of like shot out.
Yeah.
Well, I was pretty sick at the time, and I just didn't give a fuck where it went. Didn't care.
When you're hurting,
mark that.
when you're hurting, I'll do nearly.
No, I didn't care. The first one, I knew the first one did not.
And there's a pain threshold for that.
Oh yeah, but I was in so much pain I didn't care what was going in.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it was. I did not care where this thing went at the time, but I forgot about the dog.
Oh.
He put it in your ass? This is a good
No,
dog.
no, she hadn't been declawed in a while, so we weren't going to go there. No, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I'm calling the dog, and I'm like, Maggie, it's time to go outside. Come on, let's go potty. Maggie was slumped in the middle of the floor for 8 hours.
Oh,
My poor dog ate the suppository.
Wait, so you shot it out in your sleep?
No, I was in the bathroom trying to put it in.
Oh.
It shot out, and I just didn't care.
Oh.
The second one made its mark, and I went to bed.
Oh, so the
had
first one
two.
shot out. You're like, I'm not going to reach around on the
I
ground.
didn't even care where it went.
You're just, I have another one.
What kind of dog was this? Besides high.
She was a smaller terrier,
Shih
like
Tzu.
60 pounds. Yeah.
I bet that was the party of that dog. I was like, "What's up, Dad? I'm cool on the walk
So,
today."
so some dogs, we've all gotten a dog high before, and then some dogs get high and they come back and they're like, more. Some dogs are like, you light the joint, and they're like, phew.
It's like me.
My dog's kind of like in the middle. He pretends he doesn't want to get high. He'll be like,
chilling.
no. But then you'll light it and he'll be like, please.
I don't want to do any shots. Well, you didn't pour me one.
He plays real coy.
So you take gummies and that like soothes like sort of.
Talking about suppository still?
No, not suppository.
Because you know what would be way easier than what any of us had to do is sticking a gummy up there. Or it might bounce out better.
I don't know. I think depending on the flavor, that would burn.
Oh, right.
What do you do? What kind of
Don't
gummies
get the
do you
red
have?
hot.
Don't get the red hot gummies.
Don't get the
No
cinnamon.
Fireball flavored.
I bought the worst suppository.
Ever. I don't know. I've had edibles. I'm not a fan of them just because it's one, they taste so damn good.
Right.
Like before I
That's
know
the
it, like
problem.
I'm on the couch and
Also,
they're all gone.
Every edible has either fake sugar or a bunch of sugar.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, you're not, like, can you make me, like, some, I don't know, like some pho edibles? Anybody?
Like no, they should taste terrible.
might just tincture in there.
They should taste. They should taste terrible.
Back when I did smoke weed, and this is like 20 years ago, maybe longer.
It's been less than a year, but yeah.
Well, I mean, when I regularly, my buddy and I.
You're
made
high right now.
My buddy and I made a plate of brownies, but we were poor, and that was all the food that we had.
Oh no! You sacrifice. You sacrifice
I
some
can't-
Duncan Hines to put weed in it.
I couldn't feel your pain more than I do right
So
now.
I ate a brownie. I was like, "Oh man, this is great." And then I was like, "I'm very hungry now." So there's literally half a box of pasta and these brownies. I was like, "I'm not cooking no pasta." I ate.
That's going to take like 10
I ate
12
another half a pan of brownies. I was like, "This was a terrible idea." For 30 minutes, and I was like, "I'm super hungry right now, man."
And that's why you walked 2 miles to store to get ramen.
Like I walked to the fridge to get another brownie out of there.
Why were they in the fridge?
I wanted them to harden up so they wouldn't be as tasty. I was just,
Why do suppository on it?
like my buddy, he used to, he had an addiction to cans of Coca-Cola Classic, and what he had to do,
So people would drink like 8 to 10 of those a day.
he would store them outside so that if he wanted one, he would have to take it in and put it in the fridge and let it chill
I
before.
was drinking 30 hot Cokes when I was a kid. You'd be like, I don't care.
Well, he
Coca-Cola.
just had such a problem, literally, that he would leave them outside so that he would have to. And if he was really hard up, he'd stick it in the freezer for like 20 minutes.
I used to work. See, the thing is, you put it in cold water and ice, you can shake it. It's colder faster.
He's a kid.
I know. Look, I didn't know that until I was older. I learned about wine. I used to work with a guy named Danny who would drink between 12 and 14 Diet Cokes on his days off. But at work, you get the fountain. And
Oh,
the gun.
yeah.
So he didn't know.
no.
So I was like, how many Diet Cokes do you drink? He's like, 7 or 8. I was like, when you're off, how many Diet
Yeah.
Cokes do you drink? He's like, a case. And I'm like, so we hung out one day, and I just counted them.
Yeah.
And
And he probably didn't take a sip of water
and
in
the
his
next
life.
time we hung out, I just counted them.
Yeah.
And the next time, and he started a girl I was dating moved in with him, and I was like, I just kept counting them, and I was like, hey man, so I asked you this question about 6 months ago, and I've done my own research,
Right.
literally, and you drink about 12 to 14 cans of Diet Coke a day when you're not at work. He's like, no way. I'm like, I watch it go down, and it's crazy, because it's just
Did
no
he drink
water.
alcohol?
He would do shots or drink
Yeah.
wine.
Do you drink any water at all?
Not unless like, in the shower.
Accidental water?
He was Jewish. I don't know.
I worked for a guy. We did acoustic ceiling tiles, and the only thing he ingested, literally all day, were Pepsis. I mean, he probably drank like 8 bottles of Pepsi and Fireball candies.
Ugh.
Oh.
I'm down for the second part.
Those were his. That was all day, right? But the thing was, so he owned this business, and he was like, I was his employee, and he was ultra professional, did the work quick. He paid me really well. He built the business himself. He had a truck. He had whatever. One day we go back to the shop after work, and his wife's sister comes in, and she goes, "Hey, Richard, you ever heard of something called OxyContin?"
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, "No, because this is his ritual was Pepsis and Fireball candies all day." He would get home and it was either order a pizza or his wife would cook a well-done steak with corn. Literally the only things he ever ate.
I'm going to guess there was hot sauce or ketchup on that steak, too. Just going to go out on the limb
ketchup, yeah. So he goes, "No, I've never heard of that." So he takes one. Literally 1 month later, he has no house. He has no car. He and his wife are divorced.
And he's got all the ulcers.
Jesus.
Can't feel them, but damn.
I was like, and so that was my first foray into seeing like how opiates,
How bad an addiction can really knock somebody down fast.
immediately. And the thing was, he would smoke like a pinner joint of like the worst weed in the world, and he might have like 2
It
Budweisers.
was popping because of all the seeds in it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Getting
It's
high.
like popcorn.
Yeah.
You know it's good weed when it sounds like popcorn.
And he would watch NASCAR on Saturdays and maybe have like 2 beers or something like that. So this dude wasn't at the bent part of like, oh, he always did so. You know, he was like he wasn't an addictive guy.
Wasn't your typical addictive personality.
Exactly, but it immediately, I've never seen such a downfall. So the first time I got a tooth extracted,
You went to him?
I go to the dentist, and first of all, she goes, I went in and I was like, "Hey, I get kind of anxious whenever I'm in a table or whatever." She's like, "Just go to the pharmacy and pick up some Valium." I was like, "All right, cool." I get there, they're like, "Here's 6 Valium." She goes, "Take them all."
Holy shit.
And I was like, "All right." I have like 230 pounds, whatever. I took them all, went in, I was like, "Do whatever you want."
Whichever hole you want to go in. Whichever hole you want to go in.
So she extracts the wisdom tooth, and she gave me like Lortab or something, like nothing like crazy strong, but like kind of strong.
Enough.
Yeah, enough. So for the first 5 or 6 days I was taking them, and the pain would go away, felt fine. One day the pain wasn't that bad, and I took 2 of them, and I got like real high, like real opiate high, and I was like, "Oh,
Now I get it.
I get it." I had like 10 of them left. I sold the rest of them.
I've been taking pills for ADHD since I was 6. I hate taking pills.
Yeah,
so-
but those aren't opiates, though.
No,
you know?
well, granted, I'll take like a bunch of supplements. I can throw like 5 in my mouth and swallow them one time.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not. I just don't like taking pills to get messed up anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever I took those, like, I was like, I could lay here and die and I wouldn't care. You know, like that feeling of just not giving a shit. And I was like, now I get it. And these were like,
See when I get stoned, like I am right now,
Yeah.
I'm high. I don't give a shit, but I do care about what I eat later. So I'm going to live for that.
I'm already thinking about that when I'm going to be later.
at the break, I was like,
Hungry
I'm
as
getting
shit.
quartered tonight.
Yeah.
100%. I don't care if they're out of Philly cheesesteaks. I found that's the new move because I don't get wings
So when you go in the quarter, and we'll bring us back to the bar,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite place you like to sit when you go in the quarter?
to the quarter.
Yeah.
If I can, I'm in the very corner by the telephone.
Yep.
You're in the to-go pickup
To go-
food location.
Yeah. I like
So back to the door?
back to the door. Yes.
I hate back to the door.
Yeah, I can't do back to the door either.
People surprise you that are stupid. They're like, hey. And I'm like,
No, see that one corner right there is so dark. And so if they tell me it's going to be 15 minutes, I'll wait 22 minutes before I walk in that door.
Oh, that's the other places I'm like, I
so
wanna be-
that I get in there.
I know it's ready.
Yeah, but if someone's already sitting there, I'm like, God damn it.
So, Huckapoo's, your favorite spot in the bar? We all do.
Easily right by the air conditioner, by the golf game.
Mine is exactly the same, right by the air conditioner and right next to
Or-
the golf machine.
If that's occupied, right in front of the massive fan, so
Yes.
you can crop dust the entire bar. So awesome.
I'm a huge fan of the
Crop
huge
dust.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
I like by the golf machine, but if I can't be there, I want to be on the end at the same side.
Okay.
I like
the tiny side of the bar.
Yeah.
The tiny side of the bar.
Tiny
side. Yeah.
You don't live here at Good Huckapoos. There's a side of the bar where the locals.
But
get
we warned
early,
you this was going to be a very local podcast.
and we congregate there, and we hold it down all night. Because I can go there on a Saturday night when it's slammed, and I'm like, I usually just go hang out inside the bar with Paxton because he loves that. But
Not really.
if you come here, don't do that. He'll kill you.
I don't. So
My life is preserved by being on this podcast. Otherwise, I'd be dead by now. I never did it before the podcast started, not one time.
Hey, whatever happened to my stool bench thing in the outdoor bars? It's still there. It's just gone. Because you used to move it all the time.
What do you mean?
Remember the one that I bought for inside the outhouse bar?
I bet Mike Henderson broke it in a rage at 1 a.m. sweeping the deck.
I think it was pretty solid.
Man,
It sounds like a move.
it's been a long time.
That's a Mike Henderson move.
And I take if there's any seating situation behind
it's
there,
gone.
I take it out immediately.
Certain back of the house
But
people
there's-
like to
there's
come and
certain-
camp
Love
there.
to sit there.
There's also some nights though where you're like, you're there and it's there, and I'm like, it's so busy. You're like, someone has to actually sit here, just to like, slow down.
Secondhand Bud Lights.
Yeah, right. And just slow down my interaction with people that are like, hey, you're like, I'm about the bartender. What, a Bud Light? Here you go.
There's nothing more goddamn annoying to me. There'll be people back there and they're like, hey, can I get something? They're like, why are you asking me? I'm not the bartender. It's like, well, you're literally standing in
And
front
just
of.
be like, he'll be right back.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know where like 7 things are, and if I know you, I'll hand it to you and be like, that person had it. But otherwise, I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
It just, there's nights though where it's like, where it's like Tybee Idle, and there's people sitting on your bar, and it's just crazy, and you're like, here, Travis, sit here.
I don't mind. See, when it is Tybee Idle and people do like plunk their
Oh,
asses
you love it.
onto
You're
the
like,
bar,
oh, no one can see me.
I'm in a little glass case of emotion. It's great. Like there's no.
I watched Anchorman the other night. It's so good still. It's so good.
They cannot see me back there, and I'm just like, this is amazing. But at the same time, like Tyler will walk out, so I don't smoke behind the bar because even if people are eating or not,
Well, you want any excuse to escape from it.
yeah, so I want my alone time over there. So half the time I walk down there and someone's like, hey, you going to smoke, man? You want some company? I'm like, no.
No.
Nope.
All I've got is company.
Yeah.
And I don't want any ever. I constantly have company, and I can't get away from them.
I want the company of this cigarette, and I'm going to smoke it so fast.
Motherfucker.
Where we at? Where we at here? We got to be getting somewhere.
We're running.
So y'all, we're moving and grooving here, but I have to pee really bad.
Okay, well, yeah, I think everyone.
Thank God.
I think everyone's sufficiently high. We'd like to thank you for listening to this week's podcast. We'd like to thank Lars.
Thank you, Lars, for coming.
/
Thanks for having
Lance
me.
for
It was fun.
coming in and helping us out.
And-
Fro, you've done well again.
And how many F's do we have here?
Oh man, let's go.
It was neck and neck for most of the show, but he pulled it out with 5 over 4.
Who's he?
The cum dance kid.
Come dance kid. I also want to thank Fro for naming our podcast every time he's been on it so far. He's definitely called the Come Dance Kid.
We can't put that on YouTube though. We'll give up.
2 M's and dance. CUMMDANCE.
COME.
You have experience in this.
I'm telling you, that's going to work. It's fine.
He knows.
I know. So where's the other 2 of us? How'd we do? Who's one? I think one and
One and none.
none. Yeah.
One and none.
I won like
Shut
3
up.
weeks in a row, so I had to un-F.
Yeah.
Are you guys counting F-bombs?
Just F-bombs.
Oh,
Yeah.
He thought it was all cuss words. He said shit one time and was like, put that one down. I was like,
no, he
I'm not
didn't say
going to
it.
warn you.
Oh, okay.
No, we got a comment one time. They're like, you
One
guys,
time?
No.
No. Like, if you don't know, here's how it started. Before I was on this podcast, 3 people were like, I like the podcast with Paxton. They say the F word a whole lot. And then when I got on there, it was said to me, they're like, he says, like, you're drinking wine and having a nice conversation. And he's just like, this,
Fuck.
And people, some of the same people, but also some others were like, maybe you could do something about that. I'm like, you know what? I brought it up on the air. And then when we got a 3rd person in the room, we were like, let's keep track of these.
Let's start an
these
F count. Yes.
And it's fucking worked out.
Well, I used to use fuck like and like, fucking like Norm Macdonald fucking Downsy.
The Jesus
fucking
juice
come back
definitely
in.
brings out the fucking you.
Well,
Normally,
again,
when he does weddings, no F.
I know.
Unless you want those.
They haven't been requested yet, actually.
Hey, well, coming soon.
You know what? Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Thank you, guys.
We love you.
With
We
2
love you.
M's.